We want to know what you think. Go to CNBC.com/vote right now to tell us why you think airline prices haven't budged. Is it free markets, or is there some sort of collusion here going on? We want to know what you think.
Let's kick it around. We've got Phil LeBeau, follows the industries with us out of Chicago. We got our Andrew Stoltmann of the Stoltmann Law Offices. You think it's collusion, Andrew? Why?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, these airlines are making
that?
Well, you know, look, the DOJ can prove it, and all we're asking for is an investigation. We don't know definitively what's happening, but what we do know is that the equation of, you know, when you have, you know, expenses coming down, you have record profits, usually ticket prices go down. And these airlines have a history of colluding. They have a history of manipulating the prices. So they say sunlight is the best disinfectant. Let's put some sunlight on it and find out what's going on.
Is there something nefarious going on here, Phil? What do you think?
No, and Andrew should know better than to mix apples and oranges. Airfares, that's something you want to investigate? That's fine. You want to look at their record profits? That's because of fees. That's because they're charging baggage fees, cancellation fees. You want to get at the front of the line? You're going to pay a fee for that. That's what's driving the profits right now. So Senator Schumer, with all due respect, is going for this, oh, let's pick on the airlines because they're profitable right now. Come on. That's not the fares are not the problem.
Hang on, Andrew. Hang on, because that's a perfect lead in here, Phil. Thank you. We had the CEO of Hawaiian Air sitting right here not too long ago, and I asked him that very question. Why not bring the fees down with oil prices coming lower? Here's what he said. With energy costs coming down, would it behoove you as a gesture to your public to bring some of those fees down at some point, do you think?
I think the industry's done a really good job of controlling its costs and keeping the cost of traveling about the country affordable.
So the answer is no.
Well,
the short answer.
The short answer is going to be it'll depend what the competition dictates.
Yeah.
It'll depend what the competition dictates.
Right?
Bill,
would you do it? Kelly and Bill, if you were running an airline, would you do that?
Well, of course not.
That's not collusion. That is not collusion, Andrew. No, it's not.
Sure. Why is it then? How come when energy prices or oil prices go up, the tickets immediately skyrocket, but when they come down, it takes forever to go down? I mean, you can't
because at the same time when this, Andrew,
to keep prices up.
The difference,
Andrew, if you go back to see when they started spiking last time, they started instituting fees at the same time jet fuel prices spiked last time, about 5 years ago. They decided, look, we're going out of bankruptcy. It's time for us to charge people for shipping a bag. It's time to charge them for changing their reservation. Charge them for anything we can. That's called running a business. It's not collusion. Collusion is if they all get together and say, let's all keep it high, and then that's the way it goes. No, that's not how it works.
How come these fuel charges haven't been peeled back yet? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Fuel prices are way down, and yet they still have them. I mean, this is an industry that has a history of colluding on prices. And look, I'm not necessarily saying they're doing it. What I am saying is let's investigate. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on.
As long as you're looking at fares. Look at fares. Drop the part about fees. Separate the apples from the oranges.
All right, but wait a minute, Phil. Are you saying that they should be dropping the fees then if prices are coming down for the fuel?
No, they shouldn't. No, that's running a business, Bill. Look, Spirit Airways has made a decision that they are going to charge you for anything that you bring onto that flight, or if you want a glass of Coca-Cola.
What about the fuel surcharge then, as Andrew is suggesting?
If you go back and generally look, for the most part, you will not see fuel surcharges when you look at ticket prices. It's very rare. You see it on international flights, but not on your domestic flights. They have incorporated that in here along with the rest of the pricing over time. And look at what's happened with fares. Inflation adjusted, fares are not much higher than they were 10 years ago. So I look at this and I hear this complaint all the time. It seems to me that this is the easy thing for people to complain about. They seem entitled, or they want this sense of entitlement that it was cheaper to fly before, so it should be cheaper now. Well, they weren't charging before for bags. They are now. That's the difference.
There is a positive nugget in here for the 30,000-foot view, which is that typically you're only going to see these airlines cut fares and cut fees when they have to. If they don't feel that they have to, in this case, again, this is not a fuel business. It's a business of selling you an airline seat. So if they feel like the macro environment is good enough that they can sell you that seat without having to cut the price, then that hopefully tells you that this plunge in oil prices is not because of an unhealthy consumer.
I mean, they've already cut supply in the number of flights out there since 9/11, right?
If they do that in unison with other competitors, then that's a problem. Remember, deregulation went through in large part because we thought it was necessarily going to lead to more competition, lower prices, and prices have gone up in the last 5 years while the fuel charges have plummeted.
All right. Well, I will say that the viewers who have chosen to vote in our unscientific poll on air here agree with you, Andrew. 60%. We just closed the poll. 60% vote collusion over the free markets.